With knowledge. With intuition. With power. Soul Rise Woman. Begin. Hello, I'm Soul Rise Woman. In this episode, we take a journey into the wisdom of the past. We'll shed light on how women are remembering their once-forgotten intuitive wisdom, self-worth, and togetherness. This journey is not just about recalling the past, but reclaiming the right to say, I exist today. Forgotten feminine wisdom. Where do we come from? For centuries, women held central roles in their communities as carriers of knowledge, guides to life and nature. Wisdom wasn't just in the mind, it lived in intuition. From primal societies to the Middle Ages, women were healers. They lived by the moon's rhythm and offered healing aligned with the Earth's cycles. Many women labeled as witches, not referring to those who misuse their power, were in fact wisdom keepers, as confirmed by research. For example, Silvia Federici's book Caliban and the Witch explores this systematic suppression in detail. As we open the door to the past in this section, we also recognize how the ability to remember empowered women. So, why was this intuitive wisdom silenced over time? This question leads us to the next part: silenced intuition, the quieting of women. With the rise of modernity and patriarchal systems, women's inner wisdom was labeled unscientific and irrational. A woman's mind, intuition, and emotions were devalued. This wasn't merely a social shift, it was an erasure. A study from Harvard University revealed that women's intuitive decisions have a higher rate of success compared to men's. Harvard Business Review, 2017. In other words, intuition is a valid guide, even scientifically. At this point, we must ask ourselves, how much do I trust my inner voice? This question guides us to another powerful area of remembrance: women's circles and collective memory. Women's circles, reviving the collective memory. Women gathering in safe, compassionate spaces to share their stories has been a timeless tradition. These circles were sacred places for transforming collective trauma and passing wisdom from generation to generation. These gatherings, now resurfacing, are not only spiritual but also psychologically and neurologically effective. Mirror neurons, the brain's empathy and trust centers, are activated more strongly during group sharing. UCLA Neuroscience Research, 2020. Listening to one another heals not just the heart, but the brain too. In this sense, memory is not only found in history books. Our bodies and hearts hold powerful reminders. Remembering through the body, intuition, and inner voice. As women's bodies were silenced, they also lost access to their deep wisdom. But intuition, encoded in our cells, remains. Sometimes it's a tightening in our gut or a flutter in our chest. Scientifically, this is known as the gut-brain axis, which represents the physiological foundation of intuitive wisdom. A study from Stanford University showed that women who followed instinctual decisions had significantly higher emotional intelligence scores. Stanford Psychology, 2018. So our inner voice isn't just spiritual, it's neurologically real. But how can we hear this inner voice more clearly? The answer brings us to the final part. Remembering is the first step to transformation. Remembering oneself begins by breaking free from societal codes. Questions like, who am I? When was I silenced? When did I abandon my own voice? Open the door to transformation. This podcast aims to create space for every woman to reconnect with her own intuition, wisdom, and inner strength. Never forget, a woman remembers. And when she remembers, she becomes stronger. And when she remembers, she awakens others. This episode was a call to turn inward, to listen to your inner voice, and to remember what was made to be forgotten. I'm Soul Rise Woman. See you every Friday at 2000 hours in new episodes. English version airs every Sunday at 1700 hours. When you remember yourself, you'll say, I exist too, because you've always been here. Sparkles.